Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cardboard Commander. We are here, I'm Jerry, and we are here to do turn number 2. If you saw yesterday's video, I made a few mistakes. There was a couple times when we had an ambush result, and I didn't place the units in the out of action box, so I took care of all that today too. And so you should see on the video where I made the mistakes, but I did clean that up. So let's get on with turn 2. So to begin with, we start off in the dawn phase with reinforcements. So the Americans get the 11th Airborne, and you can place them in the area, which is area number 11, or you can place them, if we had taken area 28 or 27, we could have placed them in there, but since we did not take any of those areas, we're going to have to place them in area 11. That's all the reinforcements we have. So then there is no withdrawal phase now until turn 6. So then we go to the leader mortality, and I don't know if I had a leader. Nope, I didn't have a leader. That was taken off the board. So we should be good there. And then we go to the random events phase. So let's go ahead and roll 3 dice and see what today has to bring. So we roll a 7, and with the roll of 7, it says the 37th Infantry is paused. That's a horrible result for us. So that means anybody with a red dot can move, but they can't participate in combat. So that's not a good thing for the Americans this early in the game. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do supply. We're at 0. We used a lot last turn on artillery. So I'm hoping that we can roll well and get some more supply. Speaking of artillery, you have to have an artillery unit to get the combined arms. The engineer unit does not contribute to that. So I couldn't find that in the rules anyhow. So I'm playing it where the artillery, you have to have an artillery support piece to get the combined arms. So let's roll now and see what we get for supply. 11, 12, 13, 14. Not awful, but we could have done much better. So let's put the supply up on 14. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 locations. So just to verify, we've got 10 spots in the control. And that's it for the, now we've rolled for supply, so we have 14. So we go back to our chart. It costs 3 points to get an armor unit back. So I am going to grab 2 armor units and place them in, and you can, now when you bring them on, you can place them in areas that are controlled by the Americans. So I'm going to go ahead and drop them into areas that have that. So that's 6 points there. So we go to from 14 to 8. And with that 8, we're going to take 8 artillery to have, and the rest are going off the side of the board. So we will have 8 available artillery supply for this game turn. Actually, I'm going to take 2 of those away and put 2 points back on so we can replace one of the infantry units that was down here. So we're going to do that. So we're even now. We have 0 supply. I still have a couple units that are out of action. But we'll have to worry about that next time, and I've got 6 artillery to start the point with. So now we want to start off with the combat movement phase. So we're going to go ahead and we'll move the 37th Infantry since they can't participate in combat. So we're going to move 3 infantry in the HQ down into San Nicolas along with an armor unit, and they're going to become spit because they can't do anything else. 3 infantry and HQ that were repulsed at Mapeo are going to go back down into there with the armored unit. So we are stacked right now with 3 infantry and 1 armor unit. So we can add 2 more units to that. So we're going to, so that's done with being activated there. So they're done. We're going to activate the San Mesa estate, and that armor unit's going to pop over here to help out. No, they're not. So what they're going to do is the 3 infantry and the HQ is going to drop down into the San Lazaro race course along with that armor unit. So they are done. And that is it for the 37th Infantry. So kind of a bummer that we can't attack, but it is what it is. So we have to go down there. We are going to put a little counter to remind us to do bloody streets. And again, before we do combat phase, we'll do bloody streets down here, and I'll take care of that. So we'll go ahead and come back down here. So now we are doing bloody streets down here. So you roll 1 die, and there's a chart on the play aid for bloody streets. So let's roll 1. We have a 5, reduce morale by 1. So that's not a good result. So we reduce that down to 17. And now we'll go ahead and start moving the 11th Airborne. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move into here. Now, since he's not unrevealed, it only costs 3 movement to go into here. But they were going to go right there to join the other 3 infantry in the HQ. Then we're going to bring in 2 more infantry in HQ. So we're at 5 for the stacking limit there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add one more. We're going to add 1 more infantry unit in there. So they'll be done. And we'll just leave these guys in this area. They'll be spent. So now we'll look at combat in the Milla Bay Estate. So the lead unit will be an infantry unit. Well, first of all, they're a 3 and a 5, so they're at 8. And it's an ambush. So I don't forget, it says place the leading attack unit in one of the out of action box after combat resolution. So I am going to make sure that we do that this time. So I'm going to put that right there, and hopefully we do that this time. So we're going to lead off with, so they have a defense of 8. We're going to start off with a defense of 4. We get to add 2 infantry in an HQ for 3 more. Then we've got 3 more infantry and an HQ for 4 more. We're going to add 1 artillery support. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to add artillery. We're not going to add artillery support. We do not have a combined arms attack, and we do have morale over 10, so we're going to add 1 more. So it's going to be 12 to 8. So let's roll this, and hopefully the Americans get a decent result. So the Japanese get a result of 10. So they go to 18, and the Americans get a 7. So they go to 19. So they win. There's no overrun, but they win. So the ambush counter comes off. We put a control marker in that area. We raise the control up to 11. And then we flip all the units that took part in that battle, and they are done. Now we're going to go up and take care of the 1st Cavalry. So the guys in the 1st Cavalry are going to activate the 2 infantry units in the HQ and go down into Quezon City, along with 1 armor unit. The other armor unit is going to go into, it costs 1 movement to go into an adjacent, so enter a vacant, it costs 1 to go into here, 2, 3, 4. They're going to stop there. We're going to move the infantry and the HQ into San Juan del Monte, along with an armor unit. So let's resolve this up here first. So they're a TEM of 3. And let's see who they're defended by. They're defended by a barrage at 8. So they're at 11. And again, a barrage is the American player must either place in infantry or armor unit in the out of action box prior to combat or retreat. So we're going to do that with one of the infantry units. They're going to go to the out of action box. And then we're going to go ahead and do our combat. So we lead off with the armor unit of 5. We have an infantry and an HQ for 2 more for 7. We're going to place 3 artillery in there to raise up to 10. We're going to have a combined arms attack because of the infantry, the armor, and the support. So it's going to go up one more to 11. And then we get the morale for 12. So we're at 12. I'm sorry, we're at 12 to 11. So we're hoping the Japanese roll low here. And they don't. The Americans roll low. So the Japanese roll 11. So they're at 22. The Americans roll 3. So they're at 15. So they have to go back. These are the guys that came in. So they go back. Into here. And we wasted 3 artillery. And they stay there. So now down here in San Juan del Monte, they start off with a 3. They are defended by Elite 8. So they go to 11. And they get to roll 3 dice in the next combat and drop the lowest dice. The Americans start off with 7. They get to add 1 for the infantry and 1 for the HQ to go to 9. They're going to add 2 artillery because they can't add 3 because the HQ doesn't. I don't think we can use 1 because the HQ isn't an attacking unit, I think. Let me double check that. So if we go into, so under 954, it says the number of support markers allocated to any one combat resolution may not exceed the number of attacking American units. Okay, it says a leader unit, so I guess we can do that. So I guess I've been messing up on that too. So we get to add, so we can add, we have 1, 2, 3 attacking units, so I can add 1 more artillery support there, so I'll do that. So we're at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are a combined arms attack, so 13, and our morale is okay for 14. So again, they get to roll 3 dice and drop the lowest one. The Americans get to roll 2, and as the Americans been going, we're going to need all the help we can get. The Japanese roll 3 2s, so they drop a 2 and they get a 4. So they go to 15. The Americans roll an 8. So they go back to 22. So they were going against an elite. They had to win by greater than 8, which they didn't do, but they still win the battle. So the elite comes off. We grab a control marker. We up the control to 12. We flip the units that were in that area, and then we take the used artillery support and put it away. And that is it. So now that is the end of turn 2, I think. That was a quick turn. Not a very productive turn for the Americans. So end of the day, everything gets flipped back over. We go to turn 3. And morale goes down by 1. So now we are ready to start turn 3. So stay tuned.